Greetings, wild ones, wildlings, and indigo brothers and sisters. Welcome to my real life Hollywood Housewives reality TV show. And today I'm going to talk about ghosts and hauntings. And I'm going to tell you why I believe that ghosts are real. Hauntings are a real phenomena, and my first haunting happened when I had when I first went flashing on my own. I was I think in my early 20s, and I was living by myself, and in a flat that I'd purchased, and it was opposite a graveyard. And this was the first time that I'd ever got strange what's it called, strange paranormal activity. I was initially living there to begin with my boyfriend, and then he went overseas on his OE, and I found myself living there for about 6 months on my own. And the first strange thing that would happen would be my cat would look up at the ceiling, and it'd be like following something moving in one corner, and this would happen like all the time, and it would so freak me out. The cat would just sit there and stare at a spot in the corner up in the ceiling. It was just so bizarre, and I was trying to rationalise it and think, well, maybe there's rats in the ceiling, but it was in the same spot every time, and that would really spook me out. And then another thing that would happen would be I would have my bed would be patted down every night. Every time I went to sleep, my bed would get patted down. It was like the duvet would have indents in it. It felt almost like a cat walking up and down the bed, but it would only happen on one side of my body, the soft patting down of the duvet, because it was a feathered down duvet, and it was ever so subtle, but it didn't really frighten me. It was more comforting, and it's never happened ever since. I've moved to like heaps of houses since, and it's never happened. So anyway, to try and cut a long story short, I kind of had a feeling that I wasn't alone, that there was something in my flat with me, and it wasn't scary. I don't know where this feeling came from, because it wasn't scary, it wasn't threatening, I didn't feel unsafe. I just had a sense I wasn't alone, and for some strange reason I felt that there was more than one spirit that was living in that flat with me. And these were just little signs, but it was more like a gut instinct and intuition, that you kind of just know you're not alone. I always felt like I was being watched, and yeah, it was just so freaky. Anyway, so it kind of dawned on me that possibly that flat was haunted, and that there were spirits that were coming across the road. I was right next to an old church with an old graveyard, and they were coming over from there. So anyway, my boyfriend at the time, who then became my fiance, came back from overseas and decided that he would move in with me. And that's all very well and good, but then I thought, well, seeing as he's moving in with me, I need to at least let him know that the place is haunted. Well, of course, that didn't go down very well because he didn't believe in ghosts at the time. And it was like, you know, just falling on deaf ears. And I said, well, you don't have to believe me. I don't know why I said this, but they will show themselves to you like they have to me. And of course he just laughed. He just thought, oh, that I'm just mad, and seriously didn't believe a word of it. But the strangest thing happened. One night, the paranormal activity, as soon as he moved in the house, started to get worse, and it got more pronounced. And one night I remember being woken up about 3 o'clock in the morning to voices outside the lounge window, not the bedroom, the lounge. And I went out to the lounge. I think the moon was out. There was a lot of light, so I could see outside. And I peered through the curtains where I could hear the voices outside the window. And they were as clear as day. They were whispering, going, Esther, 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 Esther. I can still remember it to this day, honestly, clear as day. I will never forget, because they were whispering, and it sounded like two women whispering to each other, and it sounded real. It sounded like two people were actually outside my window talking or whispering to each other. And it got me out of bed because I could hear this clear as day. It was a full moon. It was around 3 o'clock in the morning. I kid you not, I don't make any of this stuff up. I honestly don't. I'm telling you how it happened. And because it was so real, is why I can remember it in vivid detail. And I will never forget. And this is the reason why I believe in ghosts. I have been haunted. I know I have. So I went out. I opened the blinds to look out the side where the voices were coming. And like I said, it was you know, the moon was out, so I could see there was no one there, and that was like, that totally freaked me out. I thought, what the hell? What the hell? So then, like several days after, I thought, well, obviously, maybe the spirits that have come from the graveyard across, and I need to go over there and see if I could find the names for these ladies that were talking outside my window. Anyway, I told my boyfriend, fiance at the time this, and because he was like, just same reaction again. He said, I don't believe you, but well, if it happens, it happens. I'll deal with it then. Because by that stage, I'm getting concerned. I'm like, well, if they're like making appearances to me, they're going to show themselves to him. That's when I said, they will show themselves to you. I don't know how, but it will happen. And he said, well, I'll deal with it when it does. But up till that point, he was a non-believer. So this is where it gets really freaky. One night, the lights were on in the bedroom. We were in bed, snoozing. I'd rolled over to sort of go to sleep, and he was lying on his back, asleep, with the lights on, and he freaked out. He jumped up and freaked out, and shook me awake. he was totally freaking out, and he said, he was like this, he was short of breath, and he said, did you press down on me? Did you try to kill me? And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. What the fuck? What's wrong with you? He goes, oh, and he was like this, gasping for air. He's going, something just tried to suffocate me. And he was like gasping for air, and he reckoned that something had pressed down hard on his chest and had tried to kill him. And he thought it was me, and I said, it's not me, I've been asleep. It's not me. I really had to convince him it wasn't me. Anyway, it freaked him out so badly, he said that something had pushed down heavy on his chest and had tried to kill him. And that totally freaked him out. Now, that's nothing. It gets worse, because a few nights after that, I woke up and I thought that he had sex with me. I did. I was like, oh my god. In the morning I said to him, oh my god, you were so good last night, because that was like, oh, so passionate. It was like the best sex I'd ever had, and I swore to God it was him. He said, what are you talking about? I never had sex with you. What are you on about? And I said, but you did it in my sleep, didn't you? I'm sure you did. And he goes, no, I was asleep the whole time. So I believe that I got raped. He had this, it was a male ghost, had tried to kill him and rape me. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, I've got to go, because it's my family's calling me, but I wanted to share that with anyone. And if you've had any hauntings that are similar, like a ghost try to rape you, or you know, do some crazy shit, comment below, because I love to hear other people's stories. And yeah, and I've got more ghost stories. It doesn't stop there. I've got like so many freaky ghost stories. So anyway, stay wild, stay healthy, and have fun, and don't get too scared at night while you're sleeping. Ooh.